everyone, it's Kara from Astro Kara. I just wanted to come on and talk a little bit about some of the aspects that are happening this week and how you might be feeling. Because if you're feeling it the way I am, then you might be having some challenges this week, and let's talk about maybe how to navigate. So the beginning of this week started with the sun moving into Cancer. We just had our summer solstice here in the northern hemisphere, winter solstice in the southern. This is the beginning of the new season. Cancer is a cardinal sign and it marks the beginning of something new. So the sun moving into Cancer is highlighting for us where we find our deepest sense of security. It relates to highlighting our own natal moon placement because that's the Cancer archetype. So it helps us connect to a deeper level of our ego structure, how we are identifying ourselves. The sun is shining a spotlight there to help us recognize maybe some new things about ourselves that we didn't see before. As Mercury is still moving through Gemini, we are gathering new information and learning new things about ourselves. As the sun is moving into Cancer at the beginning of this season, it's in a square aspect to Neptune. And anytime a planet comes in contact with Neptune, for me, how I experience it is I get extremely tired, or I feel extremely emotionally and energetically drained. Like I have nothing to give. I'm almost like an empty vessel. And it causes me then to move into a bit of a retreat and a rest period. And this is something that I struggle with. I have a Capricorn moon. And so if you know anything about those archetypes, I'm a worker, I'm a doer. Some of that is, trauma response that I'm learning, that I'm unlearning, that I don't always have to be doing something. But my moon wants me to continually create something. It wants me to find value in being useful. So as the sun is coming along and highlighting this and saying, let's get to a deeper part of yourself and recognize that maybe you don't always have to be doing something. You can allow yourself to rest. And when I don't do it for myself, something externally forces me to take a time of rest. And that happened to me this week. So it reminded me, and it reminds me continually that I'm human and that I'm not meant to go 24/7. And there is a time and a space needed for the physical body, the emotional body, the energetic body to rest. So I've allowed myself to do that, and I feel better today. I'm ready to get back to doing some work. So if you have been feeling sluggish this week, or if you have been feeling like you just have been drained of your energy, give yourself permission to rest. Give yourself permission to take a little bit of downtime. I know you're going to say, but I have all these things to do. I have all these responsibilities. I know. I get it. Maybe you don't take a whole day. Maybe you just take an hour or maybe a half an hour. Give yourself permission to take some space for yourself where you just do nothing. Put your phone away, turn the computer off, maybe go for a walk. Just let yourself do nothing for a short period of time or a longer period of time if you can. Because part of that is ramping us up for the next big transit. One of the next transits that's going to be happening is Mars in a square to Uranus. This will be exact on the 25th, but we're already starting to feel it. Begin a new way of trusting ourselves and acting on where we now see ourselves in a new light. And this is part of what I talked about at the new moon, on the new moon video, with Venus and Mars going through Leo right now. It's about recognizing the things that are special about you, and beginning to act on, to act like you value yourself is really what it comes down to. Act like you matter. And when I say that, I don't say it in, a way that comes off narcissistic, because that can be Mars and Leo, where we are really almost aggressive sometimes with this sense of, look at me, I am special. See me, validate me. But it's not about finding it in the external. It's about understanding that you have innate value regardless of what anyone else says or does, whether they can validate it for you or not. It's knowing that whatever is special about you is you, and you need to now begin to act like that matters. If you are like a lot of people, at some point in your young life, you were probably told, who do you think you are? How many of us heard that phrase? Which is, in a sense, a way to shame you, to keep you under control. And we are unlearning that, because who do I think I am is what I'm learning, right? It's what you're learning about yourself. So now let's take it from a different perspective. Let's change the tone and reframe it a little. Who do you say you are? Who are you underneath all of the conditioning, all of the stuff that was put on you that you had to learn how to cope with? Where are those things that matter most to you, that bring you joy, that you can now give new life to? And this is Uranus bringing this sense of, you can do it. And I'm going to show you and remind you of these things. Now, sometimes the clarity that we get, the breakthroughs that come, are memories that we need to process. Memories of things that were difficult for us. Times when we didn't stand up for ourselves, or where we couldn't stand up for ourselves. But recognizing now that you can, that you have your own sense of agency, you have your own sovereignty, you have your own power. You can create the sense of safety within yourself. Once you begin to act, then from that is where you show that you value yourself. I've heard the saying, and I fully believe it, that we teach people how to treat us. And I don't mean that in a way of traditional teaching by telling someone. I mean by your actions. When we allow people to walk over our boundaries, we're teaching them that it's okay. When we walk over our own boundaries, we're again teaching people that it's okay. So holding to our boundaries, holding to our own sense of value, holding that container of who we are, which is our ego structure. And it has to do with Cancer archetypes. So the sun in Cancer is showing you, highlighting for you, look at your structure. Look at your ego structure. Where does it need to be strengthened? Where does it need to be fortified? Or where do we need to take down some of the walls? Where do we need to allow space for people to come and go? In these first few days of Cancer season, the sun is also making a trine to Saturn retrograde in Pisces. And this is helping us develop that structure. Saturn, when it's retrograde, is pointing us to Uranus. It's helping us to see where we can become our own individual person. It's important then, with this Mars-Uranus square, it's helping us see a new direction. It's helping us see that we can begin to move in a way that is more in flow and alignment with our soul. Beginning to act in a new way, Mars, in the way that you value and see yourself as special, Mars, Venus, and Leo. Uranus is going to be bringing those memories, those thoughts, those pieces to your awareness, and how you can begin to then integrate it into who you are now. Helping us to see where we have developed this sense of importance about a way that we behaved or a way that we thought we had to be. Saturn is also in a supportive sextile to Jupiter in Taurus. Jupiter through Taurus is helping us to understand our own values and our own needs, and what do we believe about ourselves, and how can we now begin to create a new container and fill it with the things that bring us joy, the things that bring us happiness, and the things that fulfill life. This is a very supportive time of growth if we lean into it. Until next time, take care of you.